Hi, my name's Ryan Hoover. I'm the director of Handgun Hunters International, and we're going to be going over this really interesting gun, the Ordnance Technologies SSP-91, better known as the Magnum Research Lone Eagle. In front of me here, I have the Ordnance Technologies SSP-91 pistol, also branded as the Magnum Research Lone Eagle. This is a cannon breech single-shot handgun that fired rifle cartridges. It was chambered in a variety of cartridges, including .22 Hornet, .223, 7.62 .39, 30-30, 358 Winchester, 444 Marlin, 308 Winchester, and this gun is unique in that it has a very short overall length. The barrel is 14 inches, and so including the breech, the gun is still only a little over 15 inches long. Most single-shot handguns have the reputation of being forward heavy, but this gun is rearward heavy. The interesting thing about this is that you have to manually cock the trigger every time you want to fire it, which is handy because you can leave it loaded and safe. It also has a crossbolt safety on it that you can use. So I'm going to be going over the internal workings of this gun in a little bit, but just a little bit of history about this type of gun. In the early to mid 80s, a company called Ordnance Technologies came out with a pistol called the SSP-86. The 86 was very similar to this gun with a few modifications, or pre-modifications rather. This gun, as you see it now, the SSP-91, was revamped in the early 90s into its current state. In about mid-90s, I believe it was, Magnum Research branded this gun under license with Ordnance Technologies, and they called it the Lone Eagle to comport with their line of Eagle pistols, the Desert Eagle, the Baby Eagle, etc. This gun was offered by Magnum Research until about 2000 when it was discontinued, around the time when I always say a lot of handgun hunting kind of just fell off. But fortunately, there are a lot of these guns going around, and they are a very interesting piece of handgun hunting lore for sure. One thing I do want to talk about with the SSP-91, the 86, the Lone Eagle, etc., is that you must never dry fire these guns. Dry firing will break the firing pin, sure as you can count. And so do not ever fire this gun without a snap cap in place to cushion the firing pin's fall. This gun happens to already have a broken firing pin, and as of the time of this filming, May 2023, Magnum Research does still have some firing pins that they'll sell for 20 bucks a piece plus $5 shipping. So we're going to be replacing the firing pin in this gun, but for now, we will be just using it as a demonstration piece. Okay, this particular gun is chambered in .223, and I'm going to go over the manual of arms for the Magnum Research Lone Eagle. Okay, I've switched it around to be more conducive to my right-handedness. If you were at the bench, this is how it would work. I have an empty case, .223, to use for demonstration purposes. So you would first open the breech by rotating it clockwise until you can see the chamber. Then you're going to take your round and you will insert it into the chamber. You would close your breech by turning it counterclockwise. Then you would pull back on the cocking piece on the left side, forward on the fore end, and it would cock the hammer. Then you are ready to go. It does have a crossbolt safety that you can push in and out to take the safety on or off, and you would be ready to go. After you fire the gun, you rotate the breech clockwise, and you can open it, and then when you go the rest of the way and it clicks, it will eject the spent case, or if you have an unfired round in there as well. It's a really interesting design. Let's try that again. Okay, so you're at the range. You're going to fire the gun. You want to rotate it to clockwise. Then insert your round, in my case, just an empty case. Then close the breech by rotating it counterclockwise. It's a little difficult with an empty case. Now cock the gun by pulling back on the lever on the front left side of the gun. Now that it's cocked, you can put the gun on safety. Then take the safety off when you're ready to fire and fire the gun. When you're finished, rotate the breech clockwise, open it till you see the chamber, then go a little past it and you will eject the spent case or the unfired round. And then you're ready to go again. Okay, I'm out here on the range with the Magnum Research Lone Eagle and 223. Got some of this PMC ammunition. I've had it for a long time. We're gonna see how it does. I have the chronograph set up. I have some targets down there. I'm just gonna kind of shoot for a few minutes and see how she goes. So I have the gun on the rest and I'm going to, and it's open right now. I can see down the bore and I will not be shooting my chronograph. So I have a 223 round here, stick it in the back and then rotate the breech closed by going counterclockwise. One thing that I'm not a big fan of on this gun is that you can't put it on safety until you cock the gun. So be sure that as soon as you cock the gun, you put the safety on, which is on the left side of the gun. And then when I get set up, I'll take the safety off before I fire. So here we go. Quite a long trigger pull, which is to be expected for this kind of gun. You just have to get used to it. A good gunsmith probably could do something about it. The safety is off because I can't put it back on after I fired it, but I've started opening the breech here, and when I open the breech the rest of the way, you can see that the fired case will eject, and that's a pretty cool feature of it. You know, there are a lot of negatives about this gun, but there are some positives as well. One is how strong it is. Two is how cool it is. I came up with these guns and seeing them in magazines and seeing what was going on with Magnum Research, and it is just kind of a childhood fantasy to be able to sit here being able to fire one of these guns. Now I don't have one. I've never fired one in a big heavy recoiling caliber, but this is a really cool gun and it's a really good starter. Let's go ahead and do another one. Couple of things that I really like about this gun. First of all, I'm as old as millennials get, and when I got into hunting handguns, this was one of the ones that was widely available. Another thing I like about this gun is the fact that it's pretty durable and very strong. The action is incredibly strong. Another thing is the fact that you can look down the rear of the chamber and verify that your chamber is empty, and you can check the condition of your bore to a degree from the rear of the gun. I really think that the ejector mechanism is unique, and I also like how easy it is to disassemble. Now, if you want to see the disassembly process, that will be available to HHI members, and we're going to move over to that process now.